If the tariffs between the United States and China remain in place, what will be the impact on the two countries and on the global economy as a whole?
Well, definitely it is challenging to see two of the biggest economies in the world end up in a trade war. So, from the US side, the 10% tariff on China can actually make it harder for the Fed to cut interest rate because of the potential inflationary pressure to the US economy. But of course, from the China retaliation side, it's really about the export control of China in some of the critical materials, which can be important for some of the sectors like military, semiconductors, electronics, and etc. In a single word, I think inflation is the ultimate outcome.
Well, what about Taiwan? I mean, China's export controls are mostly on minerals that are used in high tech manufacturing, including chips. And of course, Taiwan makes more than 90% of the world's most advanced chips, many of which go to American companies. So, could China use trade restrictions against Taiwan as a kind of proxy for its trade war with the United States?
Yes, I think this is definitely a very valid concern. And of course, if we look at the supply chain structure, we do see that Taiwan is quite good in manufacturing a certain part within the chain. So definitely, if we do see US-China trade tension continue to escalate, it's possible that there could be certain measures that would be applied to Taiwan, which may indirectly hurt the US. Then it is really about whether the world can diversify its supply of this sort of materials from other sources. And we do see that certain from Australia, from US and Malaysia, or increasingly there's also talk about Ukraine on basically how to supply this sort of material to the US and other countries. But we do need to see greater development towards that sense because it's not that easy to replace someone who produce 80% of the production annually. It seems to me that it is a trend that is unavoidable, and Taiwan simply just need to cope with that.
The recent US tariff threats against Mexico and Canada ended up being resolved fairly quickly, at least for now. Do you expect the same thing to happen with China?
Compared to the case of Canada and Mexico, the issues are definitely more complex between the US and China. But for the case of China, beyond the drug problem that basically Trump has emphasized, there are also other issues about this massive trade surplus, the tech competition, and where all the strategic interests of the US over the world. So even though there may be a temporary deal on a certain issue, it's possible that some issues may arise at a certain point in the future.